What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders 2 and my fresh playthrough in 2022. So it is time, y'all, to make our way into Chaos 2. I've done a few Chaos 1 maps now. You see I'm Essential level 9. The Ascension points, even though they're very few, the most important place to place them right now is defense rate. Without a doubt, defense speed is your friend. So if you put anything in the defense column into defense speed, anything in the utility column into defense crit, in the offense column, doesn't really matter. Put them wherever you want for this at this point in the game. However, defense rate is a big deal. Now, what is the special enemy for Chaos 2? Well, as most of you know, it is the Cyborg. Cyborgs are orc units that utilize rare elements in their weapons and armor that serve to disable a variety of traps, auras, and nodes. So what's the counter to cyborgs, y'all? It's real easy. For those that have been watching the channel for a long time, the counter to cyborgs is you don't use traps, auras, and nodes. Because traps, auras, and nodes, when they're taken out of the picture, a cyborg just becomes a fancy-looking orc that's a little bit tougher. It is no longer going to have any special ability to be able to disable your traps, auras, or nodes. Now, on that same note, we've got a heavily debated topic here that I went with in the 2018 playthrough, I went with in the 2020 playthrough, and I still go with it today, and that is spending your Defender medals. Now, a free-to-play player is going to say, oh, well, I want to save the Defender medals to get a new hero, and that is all fine and dandy, and you can do that. But if your focus is progression and getting through the game, a new hero is not going to assist you at this point in the playthrough at all. Now, what will assist you? Well, what will assist you is a shard that you can't obtain at this point any other way, and that is the Defense Rate Shard from Chaos 4. It's 1,000 Defender medals. By this point in the game, you've probably got 2,000 Defender medals saved up. Defense rate is just absolutely huge. It's going to have the biggest impact on your playthrough, bigger than any other thing. So bigger than a new hero, bigger than any particular mod you might find. Defense rate as a shard is one of the building blocks of the game, and you really have to go through the entire game with it until you get into later game where you can start coming up with your defense rate in other forms. So I went on and bought a defense rate shard, and since we're not going to be using traps, auras, and nodes, we're going to go with one of the more popular combos, and that is the Petrify combo. The Petrify combo is when you provide poison damage from like a poison dart tower. You mix that with earth damage from, say, an EARTHSHATTER tower, and this is going to create the Petrify effect on enemies. It's going to give you a little bit of crowd control, and additionally, petrified enemies will take slightly increased damage. So this is the combo we're going for. We're going to be using EARTHSHATTERs and Petrify and PDTs. In this particular setup, if we look, we want to have basically around 180 DU. So if we went with something like 2 poison dart towers, and EARTHSHATTER, and then say a wall in front of it, that is 170 DU. So that's going to come in under the mark. Well, what if we wanted to change that up and go with, say, 2 EARTHSHATTERs and 1 poison dart tower? That puts us slightly over, but being slightly over the 180 DU doesn't mean it won't work. It just means it's not going to be ideal for every map. Now, since we're just breaking into Chaos 2, we're going to head to the Gates of Dragonfall, and in the gates, we're going to have 200 DU to spend. Now, in addition to getting us a nice shard, there's another important aspect, and that is mods are a thing. Now, although mods are not going to provide you with an immense amount of power at this point in the game, and really can mostly be ignored through all of the early game here, you still don't want to not recognize them at all. So let's take a peek through the mods we get. We've got a water servo and an anti-goblin. We've got an anti-warboar and a skelly boom. We've got a fire servo and an anti-orc. Now, a big part of this one here is cyborgs are an orc. So anti-orc is going to work against them, and they're one of the challenging enemies from this tier. So let's go ahead and take this anti-orc and throw it on our poison dart tower. Now, additionally, we found Shatterquake. Now, the anti-warboar servo is not going to do a ton for us. However, Shatterquake is going to add a little bit of pizzazz to our setup. So although we're not focusing heavily on the mods, just recognizing that the mods that exist and getting some sort of a beneficial mod put on your defenses can go a long, long way for you. Now I'm going to try the 2 EARTHSHATTER setup. So with that in mind, on this one, I'm going to want to give that defense rate shard I purchased to my EARTHSHATTER. If you decide to do 1 EARTHSHATTER and 2 poison dart towers, then I would say put the defense rate on your poison dart tower. Whatever you're going to use the most of, get it on that defense. Now, additionally, of course, we want the destruction shard. And then let's throw that unupgraded defense crit damage shard on it too, because even though it's only 4% crit damage, it's still slightly better than nothing. So let's just go ahead and use it. And then on the poison dart tower, that is going to leave us a destruction shard. Now, we got this Stunfire too, which kind of made me want to use cannonballs, but I'm going to stay away from the cannons for this one and focus on that Petrify combo. So let's dive on in and get things done. And here we go into the gates of Dragonfall. Now let's go ahead and start off with some walls here. We can drop 1, say there, 1 there, and 1, say about there. Now, since we're switching over to towers, one thing that's really important is not to put your stuff up on the wall too close. So, for example, if I place this tower here, any melee enemies that are down here hitting this wall are going to cleave that tower and do damage to it. So I want to make sure to split things up or back things up just a little bit. And the easiest way to do that, I think, is going to be to center a poison dart tower slightly behind the wall, far enough back where it's not going to take any sort of cleave damage, and then build the EARTHSHATTERs around it. So let's go ahead and put our poison dart tower down there, and then we'll go with our EARTHSHATTER tower, something like that. Gonna rinse and repeat here. The same thing. We're gonna have a little trickle of DU left over. I'm not sure what I want to do with it, to be honest with you, because it's not going to be hugely beneficial. We got 30 DU left. Now, what can I do with 30? Well, I mean, we can always throw a Flame Aura on something. What is the best thing we got here? Orc Boom, Skelly Boom. We got nothing good. So 41, looks like 4108 is going to be our best relic. We're going to throw it on Flame Auras with nothing else there. We're going to get very little benefit out of this Flame Aura, but it's going to be a little bit of something. Now, where do we want it is the question. I could put it up top here. If I had a little more range, I could put it up there, and it would still help a touch with the flyers and with the ground lane, but I just don't have the range for it. So let's go ahead and throw it, let's throw it, say, right here. So as the flyers on this lane come in, they're going to take a little bit of damage. Now, with this build, as you notice, I've got no flyer defense, which means I'm going to have to pay attention to the flyers. That's just all there is to it. But first things first, let's get all of our walls upgraded, because they are going to take a beat down. And then we'll go, say, with an upgrade on just one of those PDTs in the middle there. All right, so let's let it fly. We got no flyer defense, y'all. So what's rule number 1? Kill the flyers, right? Rule number 2 is we are still not in a position where we can automate the killing of wither beasts. So we are going to want to make sure to kill any wither beasts that come out as well. So wither beasts and flyers are our top concern. The third concern would be repairing the wall. And then as you saw that little Gobu shot that came in there, ranged mobs are going to be out of range of our poison dart towers at this point. The EARTHSHATTERs are still going to hit them, but ranged mobs are going to have their way with walls as the lanes bunch up. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for ranged mobs as well. Bosses, of course, are going to be a huge pain in the butt too. It is going to be full-on wall repair simulator. There is no doubt about it. So let's just keep these wither beasts out of the ground. Wow, we got just walloped here. I think that was a dive bomber flyer that I just missed. So let's go ahead and get these guys killed off. Yeah, we got beat down, huh? We got another dive bomber coming in. Or was it a Gobu explosion? No, I don't think it was a Gobu explosion. I really think... I'll have to go back and look at the video. I really think a dive bomber snuck in on me. I see we got a range mob that's slightly out of the way of the defenses here. And, alright, we survived wave 1. Now, we've got our defense rate shard on our EARTHSHATTER. So, the EARTHSHATTERs are what I am going to prioritize. We actually lost a poison dart tower there. I didn't even realize. I do think that was a dive bomber. I really, really do. Now, I'm going to make sure to keep my walls as fat as possible. So I'm throwing another round of upgrades on walls. I am going to keep an eye out through this one on any potential totems that drop that might be of a benefit. However, we got 140 left. We need our poison dart tower back over here. Let's just drop it back in. And hopefully, I'm able to pay attention to these flyers in the future. Let's upgrade that too, just because. Now, what do we got? We got a captain coming down. Of course, just one boss in Wave 2, so that one should be relatively easy to deal with. Just focusing on making sure we kill that one boss. But we are back to flyer duty, y'all. So let's kill up on these flyers. I'm going to try not to blow all my mana, but boy, that arcane volley sure is fun to spam, right? The EARTHSHATTERs are getting some nice shots in. The wither beasts are making the push. Let's make sure none of those guys get buried. That one's trying. And we got a yellow dive bomber as well, but we got flyers coming in close. Want to make sure that any of the dive bombing flyers are addressed right away. And let me get myself a little bit of wall repair mana for when the captain makes his way down. Now, we got another dive bomber out there. I can see it coming in on the mini-map. I'm going to try to get it marked. It looks like it's marked now. Hopefully that killed it. And, oh yeah, the captain ain't playing, y'all. He is not playing. That Petrify saved the day there. I don't know if you all noticed the captain got petrified there. But, yeah, that's big time damage right there. Holy crap, man. The captain is no joke. So, hopefully, just hopefully, we got a totem on the ground there. Let's look around and see. No totems. That's a bummer. But, you know, what can you do? We're going to have to reinvest into that wall a little. Okay, we got a Skelly-type boss, and we got another captain coming down the middle. So, let's get our wall back first things first. Walls are good, walls are good. But yeah, man, that captain was not messing around. He got right up in there. Let's go one more upgrade on each of these walls. We are playing the wall repair simulator, as I keep mentioning at this stage in the game. So, healthy walls mean a long life. So let's keep those walls thick. Nice and thick. What else? Let's throw one upgrade there on an EARTHSHATTER. And then let's let it fly. Now, once again, it's hard to stay focused on the wither beasts and the flyers, especially when it starts to get chaotic up near your walls. But another thing to note, you got to make sure you have some repair mana. So as soon as enemies start dying, if you spent all your mana, you got to get out there and collect a little. You got to collect it before you need it, because if you need it and you don't have it, then, oh man, ugly times. Now, one thing I don't think I mentioned, and that is the importance of getting a Caddo out. A Caddo. Any Gaddo pet. So, hatch all of those eggs you got, get yourself the shiniest looking kitty cat you could find, and equip it. You're going to find out in a few more tiers why we want that Gaddo pet, but the Gaddo is the way for some of our progression through the game and getting one leveled. Oh no. Wow. Luckily it didn't kill anything there. Alright, we got another captain, so let's get that. Oh no, and I did the big crime. And that is, I got no wall repair mana. That was big derps right here. You saw it first, right here, y'all. We got another dive bomber coming in. Not putting any flyer defense up is a little bit of a sketchy move, but it looks like we're going to survive it. Luckily, this is a Plaguing Hawk and not a Slikelion, so he's going to be gone. He's not going to respawn at the end of the wave. Let's just make sure that wall stays healthy. I'm not going to edit out any travesties that happened in this playthrough, y'all. So if it happens, you're going to see it. So there will be ugliness like that. Wow, look at that bad boy. Woof! And there is a big benefit just to getting into the next tier is you get the fat loots. What do we got there? 3,300. Let me take a peek here real quick. That's a pretty big upgrade for my walls, so let's go ahead and slap that on there. That's going to give us a little bit more girth. And then we got a wall to replace here, right? Let's go ahead and get that boy out. Let's throw a couple of upgrades on it, and look at that. We're over 1 mil. Oh, yeah, we got the thickness rolling in now. That is for sure. I'm going to throw one more upgrade on there even. And then we got some repairs to do. I'm failing miserably at staying focused on the flyers when the lanes get crowded. There is just no doubt. I've only got 25 repair mana. Now, that's better than 0, but I don't see any mana land. What do we have for bosses? This time we got a regular ogre. We got Griblock in the middle. So this one will be quite manageable. Just all about keeping those walls alive. So let's go ahead and let it fly here. I'm going to try to do a little bit better at handling these flyers. So the attention span is what it is. I've been recording this series mainly at like 3, 4 in the morning, so you all will have to forgive me for any late night derps, but you know, the derp happens. It does indeed happen. Now in wave 5, this far left lane is gonna get just really pounded. There's gonna be a ton of mobs, so we're gonna want to make sure that we get things good and healthy over to this lane, over to the left here. The left lane will be the real deal. There's just no doubt. Okay, Ogre's coming. We still got one more flyer here to deal with. We got a Wither Beast in the ground. I'm failing. Oh, we got 2 Wither Beasts in the ground. Not only did I failed twice. Good lord. Okay, we got that lanes out. We got one over here, too, that needs to go. Let's grab a little bit of that juice, and then we got to clear out these flyers. So we're going to hit the wall repairs up here. Oh, wow, we're getting beat down right away over here. Let's get that flyer down here. See if we can't get some CC on this lane. And then we want to kill this ogre. I got 27 mana left, and I got a repair just channeling into that wall. So, I mean, that will help, but we are not in a good way right here, especially with all these flyers. No flyer defense for the loss. Good lord, what was I thinking here? My pew-pews are not strong enough for all that. And look at that, our bosses all died while I was dealing with flyers. Good stuff there. We got a little Gobu getting tossy over here. But it looks like we are going to survive that one, as ugly as it was. What have we got here? Anti-skeleton. What about the weapons? Do we got a good weapon yet? Ooh, that one's shiny, but I would have to switch over to the Huntress right now. That one's not great. Did we have another staff lane? We did. That one's not spectacular either. It's a nice upgrade to what I've got now, but it's just not glorious. Now that actually is going to help me with the Wither Beast, though. So let's go ahead and we'll take that bad boy. Anti-support, or the support chip, is going to aid me in killing those Wither Beasts, no doubt. What else? A little Orc Boom. Let's just gather it up. We're at wave 5 now, and stuff is going to get real. Now, we got a Skelly over here. We got a Captain in the middle. The Captain, of course, is going to move real quick, and is going to hit real hard. But, as I mentioned, we do want to make sure that this lane over here is covered. Now this time, this lane has Griblock, which is kind of easier to deal with, I think. Let's see. Let's just dump everything into over here. Let's get that one all good and fat. Now this means we're really going to have to focus these two lanes. We've got a strong lane, but it's a lane that's going to get really, really overrun. So let's see what we can do here. Hopefully we are able to get the job done. Now, this weapon, it's a little bit more power, but it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge when it comes to marking mobs, as I don't have the spray going everywhere, so multiple targets are not going to be getting marked. We do need to make sure we're paying attention to those Wither Beasts, and, of course, the Dive Bomber type mobs. So let's make sure to focus on those. I've only got 13 mana too, so I'm going to need to collect up a little wall repair mana here before things get too intense. We got a little Wither Beast right there. Let's see, do we have any mana laying over here? Not much. Okay, here come the bosses, and we still haven't dealt with the flyers, so this is going to get quite tricky here. The captain I'm going to try to kill first, as he's going to do the most damage, but we see this wall over here is just getting beat down. So let's see if we can't channel a repair into that one. It's the real deal now, y'all. Chaos 2 is a tough one. It's hard to get into, there's no doubt. Let's see. Man, we are still... This wall is just getting smacked like you wouldn't believe. Oh, and we lost a spike blockade. We lost our middle spike blockade, and it's on the captain lane, too. Oh, my gosh. Now, the captain's down. We got the captain down. We don't have a wall in the middle, though. And there's a Wither Beast in the ground right there. So, oh, my God. This is tragic. Absolutely tragic. Let's get... let's keep that wall repaired. And we are the wall now here in the middle. So, oh my goodness. Now, I could throw down kind of a makeshift apprentice wall here real quick, but to be honest with you, I don't think it's going to give me a whole lot of value versus what I'm getting from spraying down the enemies here. So, let's just keep it rolling. This is quite ugly, no doubt. There's our Plaguing Hawk out there. We got a Dive Bomber coming in. We just got to get this middle lane clear. Okay, the middle lane is now clear. We got a little Gobu taking shots right there. Let's get rid of that guy. Grib's down. I think we may have it here, y'all. As ugly as it was, I think we've got a Chaos 2 win on our very first attempt. And there we go. Now, like I said, Chaos 2 is rough. Rough. I don't know what the numbers are. Of course, Chromatic is the only one who would know that. But I am guessing Chaos 2 probably presents the largest challenge for people in the game. I'm going to guess Chaos 5 is the second largest challenge. Not really sure. Now, when it comes to Chaos 2, what do I want to do with Chaos 2? I want to get through it. I want to get to Chaos 3 is what I want to do. So I am going to hope that I get a champion score big enough to get myself into Chaos 3. There's no way I get it off of one map, right? No way. Now, I mean, we'll see. Alright, so we are back in Tavern with our hot, fresh loot. What kind of shards did we get? Defense crit damage. Boo! Encroaching Flames. Alright, alright. Encroaching Flames is one that's going to help us out, particularly in the next tier. So, good stuff there. That one is a win. More importantly, if we take a look at the war table, to unlock Chaos 3, we got to get to 1,050 champion score. Now, as I mentioned in the last video, if you take a throwaway character, which in my case it's the Apprentice, and auto-equip gear on that character, oh, that didn't get us near close enough. We're at 862, so we're going to have to grind out another Chaos 2 map, maybe even two, hopefully not, before we can get Chaos 3 unlocked. But our goal now is to get to that 1050 champion score, and I don't know. I'm not going to lie, but doing Chaos 2 in Chaos 1 gear is way harder, in my opinion, than doing Chaos 3 in Chaos 2 gear. So I am looking forward to getting through this tier and moving right along on this playthrough. But that will do it for this episode, so thank you all so much for watching, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.